I didn't upload a video to YouTube for 34 days because I was so incredibly sick. And when I finally figured out what was making me sick, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. It was something that I was using every single day. And today I'm going to tell you the entire story while I create this look. Today's video is going to be a very chatty, get ready with me type video using the Harvest of Souls palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is a beautiful color story, way out of my comfort zone. And I think I am actually going to recreate a look that was done by Angelica Nyqvist. I love to recreate looks by younger women to show us more mature gals that we can, and we should. I'm also going to be talking about why I got pneumonia and some other things. It was very hard to turn the camera on. I didn't know exactly what I was going to say. I did not upload a video for over 30 days, and so getting back into the swing of things is a little uncomfortable. I feel a little overwhelmed, not just by doing videos or putting my makeup on, but just with life in general lately. Sometimes I kind of feel like I'm an imposter. I have some old insecurities that start showing up, and I thought to myself, what value do I have to add to you? I'm not an expert. I am only an expert in my own life with my own experiences. But I think it's important that we show each other that sometimes when life gets overwhelming, you just have to start from where you are. And so that's what we're going to do today. I turned the camera on. Here I am. Let's get into it. I have already put on my lotions, potions, and serums and such. I have done my base face, the blush, Lordy Lou. I used all of the complexion products that I pulled in my seasonal summer makeup collab video that I did with Andy. So this is the NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade Butter with Time, and holy moly, it's very pigmented. I can't tell you how much I had to tone it down, and in my monitor it still looks like I have blush blindness. Anyway, all of the products will be linked and listed down below that I used. So as I said, I'm going to recreate Angelica's look, and she started here with Ambition. And she started putting this all over the outer part and the crease of her lid. I was very nervous about this shade because I did not know what that was going to look like, but I am impressed already with how that looks. It's very pretty. So as you know, I did not upload a video for 34 days, something like that. I had not been feeling well for quite some time, a very long time when I stop and think about it. I kept telling everybody, I don't feel well, like something is wrong, and I didn't know what was going on actually. I was lightheaded. I had bouts of vertigo, which I kind of know where the vertigo was coming from. That was a whole nother issue. Very unsteady on my feet, like I couldn't think of words right. It was hard sometimes to put sentences together. And then when I would go to pronounce a word, I couldn't form the word properly. I was a hot mess, just a hot mess. I was having trouble breathing. My chest hurt, weakness in my legs, it was a mess. I really, really love that shade. Now that shade of green is not going so well with my green shirt, but I really do like it. The brushes that I'm using, that was a Refer 15, if you're interested in knowing. Next, I'm going to use this Nikki LaRose brush, and I'm going into Sacrifice. That first shade was Ambition, and now I'm going into Sacrifice. And that is going under my lower lash. So I kept thinking that maybe I probably should go to the doctor and just get things checked out. But the last time I went to the doctor for like a physical, that ended up costing me close to $3,000 because I asked the doctor about my knees. My knees had been bothering me. And because I asked her about my knees, she did not code my visit as a physical, which is what I made the appointment for. When I made the appointment, I said, I'd like to make an appointment to get a physical. She coded the visit as that I was having problems outside of wanting to do a physical. I just asked about my knees while I was getting the physical done. So the reason why it was so expensive is my insurance company would not cover all of the tests that were done, all the blood work and all that stuff that you normally get when you have a physical. So I was not wanting to go get another physical because, well, I don't have a regular doctor. I definitely will not go back to that clinic again. That is for sure. So, and I still need to find a regular doctor. I took a little flat brush and went back in and intensified that lower lash line a little bit because hers was very intense. Next, she went into Necromancer, which is this very dark shade here that looks more like a very, very dark green than it does a black. I know that some people have called that kind of a black shade. And she put that in her outer corner. So as I said, I am currently still looking for a doctor, for the right doctor, because I am not a person that likes to go to the doctor at all. I feel like they don't get to the root cause of your problems. Most of them just like to throw a pill at you, and I am not about that at all. That is very, very deep. So I'm currently looking around to find a doctor that I can go to. I believe I have mine on just a little bit darker than what she has it. But I took another brush and just started kind of packing it on to try to get a shape that is somewhat similar to hers because a big fluffy brush was just not doing it. You can do different techniques than what other people are doing to try to get the same effect because, my eyes look nothing like hers. And I may have to blend that out some. It's very, very dark. We'll see how that goes. We're just playing, play with your makeup. Next, she went into Patience, which is this pastel lavender shade, and she is blending that under her eye, blending it into that Sacrifice shade. Oh, that's very powdery, or it could be my brush. So I'm still looking to find a doctor. When I went to the doctor, I went to urgent care because I had been home so sick, and I thought it was, just a regular sinus. I have a lot of sinus allergy type problems, and so I thought that that's what it was. But I went to urgent care because it was getting harder and harder for me to breathe, and I was coughing so much, and my chest was hurting. It was a bad deal. Bad deal. So needless to say, I was shocked when they told me I had pneumonia, because I've never had pneumonia ever in my life. She also went back in with that sacrifice shade and just made that a little bit more intense right at the lower lash. Next, she went here into Poison, and she packed that in the inner lid. I'm surprised at how these, now that I've said it, how these pastels are not showing up on me as intensely as they are on hers. Okay, so this one is. I really like that shade as well. I was also nervous about that one. So, the people at the urgent care said I had pneumonia. They gave me steroids, which I did not want to take because I took steroids during the pandemic, and they made me very depressed, severely depressed. I had to quit taking them. So I was not wanting to take the steroids, but I was so sick that I agreed to take them, and they gave me a very low dose of the steroids. They gave me 2 antibiotics, and before I left the clinic, they gave me a breathing treatment, which did not affect me during my time at the clinic, but when I left, holy cow, I had such a severe coughing fit when I was driving myself home that I thought I was going to wreck my car. I could not catch my breath. It was horrible. I'm not going to go into all of the terrible details of that coughing fit, but it was bad. It was so bad. It scared me. That's how bad it was. I thought I was going to wreck my car or possibly never make it home. It was that bad. I'm really liking how this is turning out. So next she goes here into Obsession, which is this beautiful green. It has kind of a blue or maybe even a teal shift to it. So I'm going to pick that up on a Rephr 28, and I'm going to spray it. I'm not going to use glitter glue. I'm just going to spray it, which is what she did. Oh, that's really pretty. It's so funny to me because, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I love the looks that she does. She's always so very colorful. Her and Heather from Ashes on My Lashes, they do lots of extremely colorful looks. And I think that they're beautiful, and I'm always like, that's not going to look right on me, but here we are. I think it looks fine. I do wish that I hadn't put that in there so dark. Can you see how that turns into a teal? and a blue. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. And I am not getting any fallout. Fantasy Cosmetica really does have really good formulas. So this is pretty much all Angelica did. She did blend, and I will go back in and do some blending to blend this into that outer corner. But I'm going to go even a little further than she did and add a little bit more. So when I got home from the doctor that day, Chris, my son, if you don't know who Chris is, my son, he lives with me, was very worried about me when I walked into the house because I was not walking well. I could not catch my breath. I had to immediately go in the bathroom and take a shower because it was bad. It was bad. And yeah, he was very, very worried about me. And it took quite a while for me to get over that. I am just now starting to feel like myself again. I took all of the steroids, I took all of the antibiotic, and I am not a medicine person at all. I don't throw medicine at me, but I was that sick. So pushing the envelope a little bit here, I think I'm going to go here into Ensnare, the shade here, and put that towards my inner lid, not all the way in, but just a little bit. I just want a little bit of that to tie that into Sacrifice here on my lower lid. And I'm going to spray that just a little bit too. So again, I had no clue why I had gotten pneumonia. And then Chris and I were in the kitchen cooking dinner. Well, actually, we had finished cooking dinner and we were cleaning up the kitchen. That shade goes very well with that green. That's very pretty. These are very high shine foiled shadows, but they look really good. I'm surprised at how well this looks because my eyes, as you know, are very crepey. I'm going to go into Ethereal, which is this shade here, and put that in the very inner corner of my lid. Because why not? Ooh. It's so pretty. And now I'm going to, on a smaller brush, and I'm going to take some of Patience, which is that lavender, just a little bit of that, and I want to just kind of buff it to kind of blend that in. Okay, I'm going to make y'all wait. I'm going to do my lashes. I just colored my brows, but I need to do a little something with those. Do a lip, and then we'll come back and wrap this up. And I'll tell you the surprising thing that made me so sick. So make sure you stick around. And this is my final look using the Harvest of Souls palette, and I love it. This might be my favorite of all the looks I've ever done. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think. And so now, I know you want me to tell you what it was that made me so sick. So Chris and I, as I said, we were in the kitchen. We were cleaning the kitchen up. And he was doing the dishes, and washing them, and I was rinsing them. And he picked up my cup and he took the straw out of it. It was a metal straw that you could not see through. And he got the straw brush and he pushed the brush down into the straw. And when he pulled it out, it was black. The straw was completely full of black mold. And that is what made me so sick. Now, I had no idea. I mean, I washed my cup. I will say that I typically rinsed everything out quite often, which is not the same as actually taking soap and water and a brush and washing your cup. This is so incredibly silly, but I'm like, it's water. It's water. Rinsed it out with hot water, and I would occasionally give it a good scrub. I don't know, to be honest, how long it had been since I had actually scrubbed my straw, but Chris rinsed that brush off and then stuck it back through the straw again, and it came out just as black as it did the first time. Now I have a glass straw that I can see through, which glass is better than metal anyway. But I started doing some research. The research on how many people get sick from these types of cups is crazy. I had no idea. I had no idea that it's a thing. There's a very popular brand of these cups. And when I Googled about having mold in your cup, that brand came up quite often. But I'm assuming that they use that brand because it's so popular. But not just your straw, but making sure that all of the grooves, like this cup has a rubber band around it to help keep it sealed. I even now make sure that I take that band off and clean up under that really well, because there was black mold under that as well. They said, the research said, that you have to clean all of that really, really well, or it forms mold and bacteria. And so I was drinking black mold every day because I used this cup every single day. And that is what made me sick. And not just sick, but sick to the point that I developed pneumonia. And thank goodness, because who knows what would have happened had I continued to be drinking through that straw. All of my symptoms are gone now. I don't have trouble coming up with words or forming words. I even noticed when I was editing some of my videos that I wasn't saying my words quite right. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. And I attribute part of that to being in a rush and just rinsing the cup out. Or, people will say that this is crazy, but even that is a part of self-care. Taking the time to make sure that things around you, that you're keeping things in a way that's good for you, that's healthy for you. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video that, you know, sometimes I feel like an imposter. I feel like, what am I doing? Should I be doing these types of things? Should I be sharing and trying to help? Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I want to do, is to be able to help you. And sometimes I feel like that I can't do that, or that I shouldn't do that, because I don't have all of my shit together. Not in the least. I, for quite a while, have been extremely overwhelmed with life, with home. My home is a disaster, and work has been crazy, frustrating, and stressful, and my health, and, the world, how people treat each other, the media, everything. It's just been extremely overwhelming, and sometimes you just have to give yourself credit for just getting up or just taking a shower. But I want you to know, because so many people that share their lives online make everything look so perfect. And that's not always true. Nobody has a perfect life. And I hope to lead by example by showing you how imperfect mine is, because I have a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, But the main thing is, it may take me a while, but I never give up. I never give up. I keep striving. I keep looking. I keep trying. But somewhere along the way, these last couple of years, I have lost my voice. And that's about to change, which is probably going to make a lot of people not very happy. But I have to do it for my own sanity. So anyway, I'm rambling now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will go wash your cup. Wash your straws very, very well. I hope that you enjoyed watching me use this beautiful palette. If you have it, you should just play. Just play, because my goodness, how gorgeous is that? I absolutely love it. As I said, I will have everything linked down below that I used. Some of the products I was not impressed with. Some of them I was very impressed with. But Andy and I will be doing a video using all of our summer products, and at that time I will kind of do some mini reviews on them. But for now, if you don't have this palette, go get it. Go get it. It's amazing. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. As always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today. Pull your makeup out and play with it, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Love you. Bye.